Also, this Sunday, our friend and past guest, Cheryl Carter, will be a guest on Deep in the Grave podcast. That's February 12th at 7 p.m. on podcastdetroit.com. How is that, Cheryl? I am Mr. Haunted, joined by Jennifer, Jigglypuff, Runyon, and the baby-faced assassin, Brock Burroughs.
Hey there. Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, yeah. We're good. Brock, you good? I'm good.
Yeah, the only thing... Okay, we need to decide what weather season we want. And then stick with it for a little while. We were down in the teens last night with 45-mile-per-hour winds. So the wind chill was in the negative. And tomorrow, it's supposed to be 65. And Sunday, it's supposed to be 75. And I'm just waiting. Because usually March hits us. And usually it's either snow or ice. Being in Virginia, we always... that fine line between snow or ice. And I just think we're due. I mean, it's been abnormal. And yeah,
that's no fun. I always feel for you guys because, well, this is weird though this year going from, such extremes. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, they had New Orleans get hit by a ton of real powerful tornadoes this week too. So
indeed.
It's just crazy weather, and it doesn't surprise me after all the craziness that we've had so far. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. But besides that, I'm good. Are you doing well?
I'm doing good. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm nursing that with some ginger tea right now, and
nice.
Feeling okay. And should we ask them?
Yeah, we might as well get it over with. Go ahead.
All right.
I'm not prepared to make a statement right now.
All right. Let's keep talking, Brock.
Yeah. So.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
I'm not prepared yet. I just want everyone, before I forget, to look at the moon tonight because it's like some big giant full moon, and they call it a snow moon, and there's going to be a lunar eclipse, and a green comet's going to fly around tonight at some point.
Oh.
And
it's Nicholas's birthday.
And the stars are going to fall from the sky. And Jimmy's face is going to be up in the sky. No, okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Yes.
But in further news, I am more excited than a squirrel monkey crossing the Grand Canyon on a tightrope with total disregard for his personal well-being, all the while avoiding marauding looters while onlookers pelt him with rocks and garbage like he's David Naughton.
Okay, hold on. Can you say that last name again?
David Naughton.
You had a little bit. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Would I have an accent?
Yeah.
David Naughton.
What kind of accent was it?
It was like a northern. It was like a New York accent almost.
Oh, like you thought I was saying Norton. Like David Naughton.
Naughton.
I was talking to Ralph too long ago this week again.
I'm just envisioning you guys right now. The squirrel going over the Grand Canyon on his tightrope with the little umbrella.
Imagine how excited he is.
Yeah, very exciting.
With the looting marauders and the
yeah. And what's David Naughton doing there?
Because there's a new movie coming out.
Yes.
And what movie is that, Jen?
It's called The Hatred.
The Hatred.
Yes.
That's not good.
No.
Who does it star?
My daughter.
Oh, nice.
My baby girl. No, she's one of there's 4 girls in it, and she's one of the 4 girls, one of the 4 leads. And this is supposed to be coming out this month at some point. We're going to go to the screening next Thursday, and very exciting. David Naughton is in it. Amanda Wyss. David Naughton. Yeah. Amanda Wyss, which I think a lot of horror fans know. My friend Amanda, who's amazing. I love her. She was in Nightmare on Elm Street, among other things. But yeah, so there you go. It'll be very exciting. I'll keep you all posted.
Is this her first movie, your daughter?
It's her first movie. She's done a lot of TV stuff, but this was her first feature, so
cool.
It's very exciting for her. Yeah.
And for those who don't know who David Naughton is, he was the guy in American Werewolf in London.
Right.
And he's sang that song Making It from the TV show Making It.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just so you know, too, the producers of this movie produced Friday the 13th movies. So it was very fun. Here. Yeah, it's very fun for her. So Bailey Corman starring in The Hatred. Okay, that's terrible. I just promoted. All right, I'm done.
We'll keep everybody posted with that.
Yeah.
Let's promote our friends and family. Oh,
yes.
Before we get to Barry, who is waiting very patiently in the green room, we've got some celebrity birthdays to get out of the way.
Okay.
Here we go.
Very exciting, kind of a theme here, a little throwback theme this week. We have Tina Louise, who, aside from her role of Ginger on Gilligan's Island, was also in Monsters, Evils of the Night, Hell Riders, and The Hangman.
Ooh.
Tina Louise.
Who's a very good actress, by the way. I saw her in some old movies that I was like, wow. 73. I went first. Sorry, bro.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You said 73?
I am.
Oh, she's going to hate me. I'm going to raise you by 10.
Okay.
83. Please. 83.
I don't see any 30-second lag in the chat. They're guessing immediately. She'll be 83.
Wow.
Yes, she was also in the Stepford Wives. I forgot to write that one down.
Yeah. Oh, God, I was all cocky about that. I thought I knew that.
Well, you were being nice to her. In case you see her on the road somewhere.
Yeah.
Stockard Channing, who was in 1999's Practical Magic, and was that sassy Rizzo in 1978 movie Grease.
Mm-hmm.
Stockard Channing.
Oh boy, there's another one. Okay, let's go 73.
75.
Rizzo will be 73. Correct.
Nice. Nice.
I do addition mistakes sometimes. But if my calculations are correct, she was 34 years old when she played the high school girl Rizzo.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. They were all older.
And you know what else I did? I realized last week I was telling misinformation to everyone that I said Seth Green wrote Fish Heads, but it was Bill Mumy from Lost in Space because they look alike to me. So it was that kid from Lost in Space that wrote that song Fish Heads.
That's so funny. I did not know that.
Yeah, I got to get that off my conscience so I could sleep now, so it's out. Good. Thank
you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I got one more. And we have a guest. He's waiting. One more. Jennifer Aniston was in Derailed, Bruce Almighty, The Very Scary Leprechaun, and was Rachel Green from 1994 to 2004 in the TV series Friends. Jennifer Aniston.
Well, let's say 48. Is that mean? Is that mean?
No, no. That's the correct answer because she's one of my girl crushes. So 48. Go ahead and ding that.
Going to be 48. Correct.
Yay.
It's funny. Jimmy gets one every week that I'm like, I know this one.
Wait, this is the only thing I have close to a buzzer.
Perfect.
Thank you. And it's Nicholas in the chat. It's his birthday today. And
happy birthday, Nicholas.
23.
Right, we won't guess for it. We won't guess on Nicholas. He's just a kid yet. Oh, so our guest tonight, Barry's with us. Derek might join us later. They're founders of a Native American Bigfoot investigation team called Res Squatching Research, located in Macy, Nebraska. And they specialize in private investigations and public expeditions, Barry Webster. Barry?
Hey, how you guys doing?
There he is.
Barry.
What are you thinking? They're not going to get to me, man.
Yeah. What are they doing over there? What green room? What snacks?
Barry, I have one question for you before we get into squatching.
Okay.
I can't help but seeing your pictures. Congratulations on your Super Bowl win. How did you become a Patriots fan in Nebraska?
Well, I'll tell you what, two superstars. Well, what's the saying? Geniuses think alike. I can't remember how it goes, but I played quarterback, and I was a pretty good college basketball player, so you just respect other good talent.
Right.
And I watched him play one weekend, and I thought, man, that sucker's good, Tom Brady, and just became a big fan.
Oh, cool. All right, so I heard a story that you told that when you were a kid, your dad came home after a possible encounter with something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, could you tell us that story?
Okay, because there's so many running in my head right now. You have to go into a little more detail.
I'll give you a hint. The one when he left, when he was in his pickup truck and he felt something. That one. All right, so.
Okay.
Well, we're going to skip that one for now, and I'll message you later. How did you start your group? And when?
How did we start our group?
Yeah.
Well, we started about, I would say about 6.5 years ago when we really became active and really just getting after it. I would say, about 20 plus, just off and on. So all native tribes have their history, folklore. We grew up knowing that he was out there, and we grew up with that history of Situnga. That's how you say it in our language.
Wait, how do you say it?
Situnga.
Situnga.
Yeah, Situnga. Now, there's another way. Yeah, there's another way to say it. Hishkabenu.
Hishkabenu.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I spoke
Native
American. I'm excited. That's cool.
So what kind of stories did you hear, when you were a kid about Sitonga?
Well, I heard a couple from my grandpa and grandma, but I guess to correct you, or I'm not sure if it was me or Derek, but I remember my dad coming home. He was out having a few beers down by the river, and he came home when I was probably a teenager. Maybe I was in high school, I can't remember, but he came home, and my dad was a professional boxer, and he wasn't scared of anything. And I remember him coming home late one night, and he called us all in the living room, and he said, "Listen here," he said, "I'm going to tell you guys something." He says, "You guys stay your ASSs out of that area." And so I couldn't believe that. My dad was scared, and he had an encounter.
He did.
Yeah, he sure did.
So what happened? What did he tell you the story?
Yes, he did. He said they were sitting there having a few beers, and it's a very beautiful area. It's right along the Missouri River. And he said we were sitting there, and he said we heard something, and some of his buddies got scared. He heard it holler or something, and he said they slowly got in the car, not knowing what that was. It didn't sound right. He said, we slowly got in the car. As we backed up, he said, my brake lights lit up, and there was this big figure. Now, it sounds like the classic old story, but I guess for me, just to see my dad scared, that was a little shocking to me. I knew he had some kind of experience.
Right.
Yeah, so I always knew then, as a young boy growing up, that there was something out there.
So
And,
when? Okay,
yeah,
go ahead, Jim.
No, please go. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to ask you. So as a teenager, I would think. I mean, I would imagine you guys would go out investigating this stuff. Then, did you at that young age?
Yeah, well, I don't know if we even knew the word investigating, but yeah, every time we were out there, it was always in the back of our minds to listen and to kind of be, to look around and to, so I guess we were always investigating, but we always never went by ourselves, because that would have been a no-no, to go by yourself.
Oh, so you guys weren't even allowed to go do that. You went with your parents or whoever.
Yeah, if we had to, we were either in a group, and you always got out of there, before nighttime or nightfall. Yeah.
So when was the first time that you actually either saw something or like your first experience?
My first experience was when I was working in the summer, and we were working for this summer youth program, and they sent us down by the river to this bean field, and I was in charge of about 20, 30 kids, me and my other brother. So we were supervising them, and we were cutting a bean field. And about an hour into it, on the other side of the dirt road, on the other side of the bean field, we heard this loud guttural growl. I mean, you literally had to grab your ears, and I remember when it went off, when it growled, I looked at everybody, and everybody was looking at me, and I was saying, who in the hell's messing around? And we did a head count, and everybody that we had in our work group was accounted for. And as soon as we heard that, being young and scared, we just told everybody run. So there was just a mass, get the heck out of here. There was all 30 of us running, because that was unbelievable. That how.
Yeah. What have you seen any in person?
Oh my goodness! Who just asked that question, Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I was wondering when we were going to get to the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jimmy, I'll tell you this. I was very blessed to have one of the great, and I'll say this, and I have no reason to try to impress anybody. I probably saw him, and I'll say it again to anybody that's listening that's heard me say this. Honest to God, I probably saw him over 50 times.
Wow. And did you see all different kinds, or was it always the same looking thing?
Well, right now, we investigate what the Bigfoot world calls a habituation. And right now, we've named him Ishage, which means old man in our language. There's a gray one that I had the great fortune of having a 20-minute encounter with him.
20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes. I got that one on video. However, it somehow, and you'll just have to understand that anytime you go out trying to take pictures or film them, it's not that easy. So somehow on my niece's camera or her phone, as she was videoing them, it came in a smaller right frame. So when you blow that up on a HD projector, you can see him pretty clearly, and he's a lot bigger, his figure. But to get back to the story, we were out doing an investigation, and one of our objectives is to ask questions out of the Bible. And we did that for about 30 days. And finally, those eyes that would show up about 50, 75 yards or even 100 yards, those eyes that would glow and just be big, just a big figure. All that time, that was him. He would come closer. Finally, one night, we got him about 50 yards, and we decided to call it a night. We said, well, we got the big eyes again. Now let's call it a night. That was a good night. So we drove off. Instead of going home, taking a left, we took a right. We came along this culvert, this bend, and sure enough, he was ducked down like a crouching coach.
Oh.
A football coach on the sideline. Yeah. And lo and behold, we lit him up with our flashlights. I'm talking, I always say 30 yards, and we lit him up from head to toe. So I can honestly tell you folks that I had a very close experience, one that I'll never forget. We stared at each other. It was just incredible. His eyes were glowing like the moon, and it was interesting because his eyes looked like the moon.
Wow. So do they glow white, or do they have a color to them?
Yeah, they glow white, and they actually beam. They actually, beam out of his. They throw off a glare, a beaming light. The same time, he had a greenish blue color around him. He was about 8.5 foot tall. He seemed very calm though. His body language told me a lot about him.
Did you get the impression that he wanted to communicate and didn't want you to be scared?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'll tell you this, and I haven't really said all these details, but because I heard you guys are so cool and I'm glad to be on your station, like I stated earlier, I've learned so much from him because he crouched down, which to me was very human-like. He put his forearms on his thighs and he was crouched down. And to me, a creature or a beast just don't do that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I'm sharing. We're going to break in a couple minutes, but I shared a picture in the chat with the print in the snow. Was that one of your pictures? It was
yeah.
Print in the with your hand next to it.
Yeah.
That's a big print.
Yeah, that was my brother. That was my brother Derek. That about 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, we got one on thermal, and that is incredible.
You got them. Oh, how big are the ones that you see? Are they different sizes, or are they all?
Well, right now, the one that I'm kind of doing, having some what do I want to call it? The one I built a relationship with, he's probably 8.5 foot tall. And let me say it first and foremost, let me back up, way back. They exist. Did you guys hear me?
Yes. Loud and clear.
They exist.
Sure.
Yeah, they exist. So don't let anybody tell you any differently.
And you said he's the one that mainly tries to communicate with you, or you've seen him many times? Or?
Getting back to your question, he even leaned sideways as if, let's say a normal person was trying to look and he couldn't see something, or he had to look over somebody. He tilted sideways to get a better look, and particularly he was looking for me. I was sitting on the passenger. I was on the driver's side. My cousin, he was in the passenger. My niece was in the back seat. And it was just, I was speechless, like anybody would. His color was gray. And even in my video, you can see it. He looks white in the video.
Oh, and before we go to break, could you give your YouTube channel, how people can find your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel? Let's see. Go to Red Squatching Research. Boy, just try that once. You should pick up something.
Yeah, it pops right up if you type in Rez, R-E-Z, Squatching. They have a bunch of videos with their expeditions and stuff. And I think it's break time. So we're going to hear more with Barry Webster after these important messages. Welcome back to the Haunted Chronicles, home of your guaranteed halftime shout-outs. To everyone in the chat, thank you for coming. Jane Doe, Dr. Dave, Kara E., Tiffany, Brock, Mark, Cheryl Carter, Indy Dwayne, Paul, the para-moderator, Southern Gentleman, Denise, Ace, Marianne, BN Hank, Desi, Nicholas, Valerie, Max, Doug, Maggie Renee, Debbie, Candy, Frankie B, Frankie C, Victor, Linda, and there's a couple other people, man. Junebug, Brandon, thank you. We're back.
Very good, Jimmy.
We were talking to Barry about the 20-minute encounter he had. Was that the one that was on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
No. This was February 21st, so we're coming up on the anniversary again.
Okay. And what happened? Why do I have that date in my head? What happened on New Year's?
I got one of the cars.
On New Year's, well, there was quite a few things that happened on New Year's. I'd like to finish my 20-minute encounter if I could.
Oh, please. No, we want you to. Go for it.
Okay. All right, and I'll get back to that, Jimmy. Again, for about 3 minutes total, we had just a complete stare down. It was as if time was slowed down. He was very, I want to say, stoic, kind of just almost his body language was telling us that, well, come on, you asked all these questions. You said you wanted to help me. Now help me. And again, words can't even describe seeing an 8.5 foot Bigfoot staring at you. And they also have canines. The bottom teeth, where they had 2 canines and deep sunken eyes. His body almost looked like it was rough, like almost like a lizard, like. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
Creepy. No, we're listening. We're just creeped out. We're listening.
Okay. Well, it was almost as if he was saying, "Well, come on, talk to me. What are you scared of?" And as the seconds went by, I started to feel more calm around him, and all of a sudden, it was like he showed disgust. And my niece, who was filming him, I didn't know she was recording him at the time. He kind of blows us off, and he looks at the ground, stands up, leans over as to look for me, and then he kind of just turns away like, okay, if you don't want to talk, I'm out of here. So he kind of pivots and he turns and walks away, does his Bigfoot walk. After about 4 steps, you could hear the, did you guys hear that?
Oh, the sound he made?
Yeah, he grunted. As he grunted, a juvenile came running out from behind the tree, and it was all white.
A little albino.
It came. Yeah.
Well, I didn't
and
mean
so,
funny. I mean, so their babies are white, really pure white.
Yeah, and he had the glowing eyes, and you could actually see it in the video, and he started to make a barking noise as he ran towards us like he wanted to play.
Oh.
I think we just lost our albino audience.
I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, as we were having this encounter, we were parked on the road, and about 2:10 in the morning, a car started to come from further up. So my cousin said, "Get off the road." He was telling me to get off the road. We might get hit. So I pulled over, and the car that was coming down the hill towards us went by us and pulled into the driveway next to the house. There was a house in this creek area next to it. So the car pulls in, and we're just like, "Hey, dude, tell that dude there's a Bigfoot in here." And we were just freaked out, shocked, whatever. And finally, my niece, before we left, my niece, as the Bigfoot walked away, I don't want to leave this part out, she told the male, she told him, she said, "Please don't be afraid." And he stopped and turned and looked at us, and his eyes started circling inside his eye socket, and he just kind of said, "What did you just say?" That was what his body language was saying, and his look. Then he kind of he focused in, then he turned away, like snapped his head like, "I ain't nobody's helper."
Wow. He had a little attitude.
It was very interesting, but I guess what I take from that is that they're very human-like. They're very human-like. Jimmy, did you hear me?
Yes. And I have a couple of questions from the chat room when you're done with this story.
Okay. And as then we decided to leave. As we left, being in shock, my niece lived about 200 yards up. And so we were just going, wow, as we were talking and trying to analyze and figure out just what the heck happened. As we pulled up to her house, the little one followed us. The little one actually followed us. So when we pulled up, she got off. I said, "All right, we'll see you later." And she got off, and these eyes were down below the driveway. So it followed us, and it was hiding behind the tree. And it was just being goofy. It was being like he was having fun. So with my high-powered flashlight, I lit him up, and he just kind of looked at us and it was almost like we heard a laugh or something. Then as we lit him up, he ran back to where his father was, or where the bigger one was. But you could just hear the footsteps. Boom, 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 boom. Just, I don't know. It still blows my mind as I talk about it.
Was there any odors when you saw the Bigfoot?
Oh yeah. It's kind of there was several times where we encountered where we smelt the dog mange, like wet mangy dog. However, that night in February, it was still winter and it was still a little cold out. So we didn't get any smell then, but I'm sure they still carried their smell. We just didn't get any at that time.
All right, and then another question from chat was, how do you feel they communicate with you? Are there any other ways that they communicate with you guys?
Well, we've been pretty fortunate and blessed. They kind of taught us a lot. They like to communicate with wood knocks, so we like to do them back, and we just it's just incredible. We mimic each other. It's like a game, and so they'll do wood knocks. They'll do low guttural growls at us. They did. I mean, you would have thought Godzilla was in the timber. Sometimes when you get too close, they just thrash. I mean, they just destroy trees.
And
you would think Godzilla's in there.
I noticed they had some wooden structures or something you found back there. Do they?
Oh yeah.
What are they doing there?
Well, I've heard a lot of interpretations of that. We like to think, and I heard a good one. We like to think they're just marking their territory. We run into that a lot. That's fascinating to us because you'll see some things that just unexplainable. They like to warn you, and they like to mark their territory. We'll see a lot of arches, a lot of X's. We saw some. We come across these things, and they just blow your mind. And there's obviously no human life. I mean, nobody lives in these areas, so it's just been really interesting.
I'm trying to post your picture of the one with the eyes that you got. But if everyone, a bunch of you guys already joined the Barry's page. It's Res Squatching on Facebook. And if you want to go to that page, they have a lot of evidence and stuff, and they share what they got on their investigations.
Yeah, Res Squatching Research Community is the best one. That's one you have to join.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the question.
I know my brother.
Sorry. Go ahead, Barry.
No, you go ahead. You've been waiting.
Oh no, I was curious about the story Jimmy wanted you to tell about your I think it was your dad's truck.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah. Well, I think we might be. That might be a question more for Derek, Jimmy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
well, let's talk a little bit about the history and with our tribe. Can we do that?
Yes,
yeah,
we'd love it.
Well, here's kind of what we gathered now. We're not trying to make stuff up. What we gathered, and I don't have, and if you heard me before speak, I don't have this great mythical or Native American story. What our ancestors told us is that they always been here.
Right.
They helped us. They're our brother, which we respect a lot. We kind of hold them in high esteem. I know other tribes have other beliefs about them, but we call them our brother. They're kind of a protector for us. They shared medicine with us. They played a big part. Again, back in the days, we used to communicate with them. I even heard that we bartered with them.
Oh wow!
What did you hear about that?
What was that again?
What did you hear about that? That they bartered?
Well, we used to.
Everybody's here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we heard we used to barter furs. We used to barter. Apparently, and we've had we through our communications, we actually heard them talk and it was very interesting.
Wow.
We had another question.
Okay.
People have heard that they tend to throw rocks and sticks. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Oh my goodness. Let me grab a audio for you guys, and I want to play something for you. While I'm trying to find my audio, my recorder, we had one time, we were on to them, and hang on here. I want to play this encounter for you because it'll blow your mind.
I love it.
We had, one time I had a camera on me and a camcorder, so I was trying to be overzealous or whatever, and they didn't like that. So from back of us, they threw a branch about 10 feet long, about, at least 14-inch diameter branch at us. And it landed on top of these trees we were on, and it just kind of slid down and landed by us. And I was like, what the heck was that? If I can find my recorder, I'll play it here. But that one, a juvenile grabbed my brother's leg, and I know he really don't like me to talk about that one, but we just literally were petrified. It crawled up from the bank and grabbed his leg and literally tried to pull him down. And you can hear everything. And if you give me a minute.
You're kidding. Oh, yeah. No, find it. That would be cool to hear. I mean, I'm sorry it happened, but wow.
Hang on here.
Yeah, no worries.
So we've had one time, where's Rex? Rex, can you grab my recorder? Is it in the back of the car? So one time, my cousin, we were doing a Halloween activity, and he dressed up in the Bigfoot costume. And I'll tell you what, boy, you ever, if you don't believe in them, put a Sasquatch costume on and run through the timber. That literally pissed them off. It started throwing little needles at us. One accidentally, because I was in the way, hit me, and that pissed me off. I'm sorry, but they're very territorial. There's things that piss them off. I mean, I could go on and on. I don't think we have enough time for me to tell these stories. I got my son trying to grab my recorder now, so if we just keep talking, I guess he'll bring it when he grabs it.
So okay, go ahead, Jim.
Oh no, I just had a question about totally off topic. I wrote down gargoyle. Do you have a gargoyle story?
Oh my goodness, we one night, me and my son, we were squatching, just him and I. And there had been reports that people saw what they thought was a gargoyle. So I thought, whatever, I'm out for Bigfoot, the heck with that. And I swear to God, in my peripheral, I thought I saw, this figure beaming off this street light. And I told my son, I said, whoa, I said, there's something over here. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but I know I saw a figure up in the sky, and not really having a good angle because I was in the passenger side, but I swear that gargoyle or it was sitting on that pole, and after about 2 minutes, this figure just kind of, as he jumped off the pole, you could see the wings and the figure just fly off, and I'll bet $1 million that was a gargoyle. Wow. That has been spotted around our reservation. The gargoyle.
Really? So it's multiple sightings of this.
It's just I don't want to call my reservation evil, but it's just been an interesting place. We have so much timber, so many gullies. It's just a squatchy place.
Scotchy place. Wow.
Somebody asked if you think they ever mean harm to humans, or did you ever hear stories that they're bad, or what have you heard about them?
Well, I've heard a couple stories, but all I can tell you is my experience. What I will tell you is that they're very territorial, and they're very accurate. They it's really they're very intelligent because they always kind of seem to do things that they can really scare you out of an area, and they can come real close. They'll just snap trees. We heard probably one of the loudest wood knocks ever. I think they're very territorial. Now, I know there's a show called Killing Bigfoot. Boy,
Yes.
I would love to meet those guys, and I would love to go out with them because, boy, I don't know what would happen if you killed one, because they're pretty territorial when you get close to their. We believe they live in cave systems, and I think there's scientific proof of that, but it's just kept under wraps. We totally believe that, and when you get
that's my question I wanted to ask you, Barry. Why? Why is it not? Why did the authorities keep it so hidden? What's your thinking on that?
Why does the authorities?
Yeah, I mean authorities. I mean, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I think people, there's some people out there, I believe, with some great evidence, and I just think they keep it to themselves, or for whatever reason. I guess as much research as we try and do, we still don't know enough about them. And however, we know some things, we know their patterns, and one of them is, and we know a behavior is when you get too close, they'll let you know.
Wow.
We're just about out of time. We could go on for hours. We're gonna have to have you on again to talk about what you guys have been doing. But everyone, please go to Res Squatching Research Community page, and it's a private group, and they'll hopefully approve you. And they also have some apparel for sale that you have to. What is it, by Sunday, Barry?
Yeah.
Yeah, get it by Sunday.
Or go to GetStonedApparel.com.
GetStonedApparel.com. Res Squatching Research Community. Yeah. And I believe we're out of time already. Barry, thank you very much for joining us. Next week, our guest is Dave Erickson, our mysterious producer.
Who's that?
Interesting.
Barry, thank you for joining us. Jennifer, Brock, Dave, listeners.
Great show.
See you next week.
Yeah, Barry, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Bye.
You're welcome. Thank you.